If you ever bought a Colt Studio magazine or were lucky enough to get your hands on one of their early film loops, you would have come across a model by the name of Dakota. Tall, blonde, and a beautiful body, Dakota quickly became one of the superstars Colt can count on because of his popularity. But Dakota was an alter ego. His real name was Ken Sprague, and he was a big fucking deal in the formative years of bodybuilding as a sport. From owning the original Gold's Gym to palling around with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ken Sprague was no regular porn star. In this episode, we're going to recognize Dakota, aka Ken Sprague, one of Colt Studios' most popular models who started his career modeling and escorting, then purchasing the original Gold's Gym and molding it into a household name. This is Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is Ike Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped to get off. Before we continue, I want to remind you to help this channel out by clicking the subscribe button and selecting the bell icon for notifications to see more content like this. Ken Sprague was born on July 14, 1945 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Growing up comfortably, Sprague's family were cultured in art, politics, and athletics. His mother was a ballet dancer, his father a contractor. Since childhood, Sprague was led to develop passion for sports. His older brother competed in gymnastics, track, and Olympic weightlifting. In 1962, Sprague began attending Robert A. Taft Information Technology High School, a predominantly black high school, mostly because of their athletic teams. While a member of the high school football team, Sprague met his future wife, Melrose Thrower. When Sprague's coach found out he was dating an African-American girl, he was told to not see her again. When Sprague refused, he was suspended. He was also met with disapproval from his parents about his relationship with Thrower. When his girlfriend found out she was pregnant, Sprague found a job and sued his parents for guardianship so he can marry Thrower. The couple married in June 1964, and their son Kenneth Sprague Jr. was born 2 months later. Their daughter Julie was born in 1966. When Sprague was 18, he was encouraged by a National Olympic weightlifting coach to try the sport out. Sprague competed for the next 5 years, winning numerous AAU championships and receiving the Mr. Cincinnati bodybuilding title in 1967. Sprague attended the University of Cincinnati on a track scholarship. The scholarship lasted 1 semester, and Sprague was forced to combine his studies with work and family. It was around this time that Sprague and Thrower would divorce. While in college, Sprague was encouraged by a friend to try modeling. His friend sent a photo of Sprague to Colt Studio in New York City, and he was invited to pose for them. During a 4-day trip to New York, Sprague posed for his first nude photo shoot and was given the name Dakota, under which he was represented by the studio. After the shoot, Sprague returned to his schoolwork and job in Cincinnati. During that time, Colt sent his photo to their clients. The response was instant, and Sprague was asked to travel to California to do more modeling. In March 1970, Sprague arrived in California and did a second photo session when he was approached by a private collector to appear in a hardcore sex film. His co-star in that film was another bodybuilder and rising porn star, Jim Cassidy. Both men would go on to serve as a template for characters in the novel The Iron Game by David Carter. The author described Sprague as never feeling any guilt and someone who would take whatever position was necessary to ensure that he would end up in good shape financially. In 1972, Sprague made a notable appearance in the drag spoof of All About Eve, All About Alice, where he played the boyfriend of Mona and had a couple of full-frontal nude scenes. It was rumored that Sprague worked as a hustler besides his work in porn. Sprague was said to have earned at least an additional $100,000 a year by turning tricks. Sprague later commented that he had made a great deal of money, but not in the way it had been portrayed. However it may have been, Sprague had a very profitable shadow life and amassed both a fan base and money. Around the same time, Sprague became a member of Gold's Gym in Venice, Los Angeles. Sprague had discovered Gold's Gym while vacationing in California in the summer of 1969. He would sneak in the train when the manager was out on lunch and was struck by the beauty of the gym's proximity to the ocean. He moved west the following summer and enrolled in Gold's Gym. By 1972, he had enough money in the bank to make a down payment on Gold's. On May 26, 1972, Sprague became the new owner of Gold's Gym in Venice, California. The then declining fitness club had less than 100 paying members. With the cooperation of wealthy friends and acquaintances, he also acquired a soundstage in Hollywood. Originally started with the idea of becoming a major influence in the field of pornography, the stage served mainly to produce gay porn. Sprague himself produced several all-male short films, which were later released as 2 feature films, Lodestar and California Superman, under his own company, Dakota Productions. Other bodybuilders had appeared in his scenes as well. Soon after he bought the gym, Sprague upped its cachet by sponsoring muscle contests that fetched big crowds, paying Waller and Schwarzenegger $50 apiece to guest pose before judging. Buoyed by the turnout, Sprague began promoting Mr. America tournaments, which typically drew just a few hundred fans and paid no prize money for the winner. Sprague staged the event as a 3-ring circus, leading a parade of half-clad bodybuilders riding bull elephants to the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, while brass bands played and a plane flew overhead trailing a banner trumpeting Mr. America. And of course, Gold's Gym. He sold 6,000 tickets and offered the top-tier patrons the chance to personally oil up a contestant. Sprague would earn a second fortune creating and staging shows, adding the Gold's Classic and Mr. California to the contest season. His masterstroke, though, was hawking products that no gym owner before had thought to sell. He printed Gold's t-shirts and asked the crew to wear them during shoots. They sold faster than he can mail them. Suddenly, there were stories in LA papers about the swinging new trend of pumping iron and the celebrity sightings at that hotspot, Gold's, with stars like Clint Eastwood, Jane Fonda, and Muhammad Ali dropping into train. Fun fact, by now you know that Ken and Arnold were buddy-buddy during the golden era of Gold's Gym. In 1974, Sprague used some film footage of Arnold posing in one of his porn films. Arnold was rightfully angry and threatened to sue Sprague. Joe Weider stepped in to settle the issue. Sprague regretted using the footage and removed it. Unlike most porn ruined my life stories, Ken Sprague was a clever businessman. Besides owning Gold's Gym and associated porn studio, he was very involved with the wheelings and dealings around the early Mr. America competitions. There was some gay-shaming trash talk, as you would expect from a bunch of bodybuilders, but overall, he seemed remarkably successful. After the modest beginnings following his purchase of the then-declining fitness club, Sprague managed to make Gold's a household name. It was featured in the 1977 docudrama Pumping Iron. Sprague sold Gold's Gym in 1979 and later moved to Eugene, Oregon to focus on his family. He wrote and published several books about bodybuilding and worked as a teacher of math and science. In 1999, Sprague and his wife would move to Marietta, Georgia, where he worked as a teacher at Marietta High School until his retirement in 2010. You've been watching Demystifying Gay Porn. I am your host, Ike Grande. Demystifying Gay Porn can be found on every podcast directory as well as YouTube. Demystifying Gay Porn is on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram. And if you like what you see here and want to be a part of the process, head over to patreon.com/demystifyinggayporn, where you can help support this podcast and YouTube channel so I can continue making content like this video you've just enjoyed. As always, don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, and leave a comment letting me know what else you'd like me to cover. Once again, this is Demystifying Gay Porn. My name is Ike Grande, and if you watch gay porn, I've definitely helped to get off. Cheers.